So what's cool is we have a whole separate section, section 4, that's all about saturation. And we know what it means. The water has become saturated with energy at a certain point. So once again, back to our TS diagram. And we're going to swap that up in a little bit to an HS diagram. And I put this dome in here. And here's a pressure line, F point, subcooled region, constant temperature while it's getting vaporized, the G point, superheat, a temperature increase once again. So the term saturation, it says, defines a condition in which a mixture of vapor and liquid can exist together. Yeah, so once I'm right at this point, right here, we call this the saturated liquid point. Well, I still have all water in that pan. And if I continue to add energy, it will boil off. And if I get to this point, the saturated vapor point, all of the water has been turned to steam. But anywhere in between these 2 points, there's going to be a mixture of water and steam in my pan. And you can kind of see what's happening here. Right there, I'm going to have 50% water, 50% steam. If I continue to add energy, I would be pushing this way. Right here, I would have 75% water and 25% steam. If I only allowed it to get here, it would be 25% steam and 75% water. The difference between the F and G point, we have said, is FG. That's going to be very important. Essentially, it is the amount of energy that you have to add to a saturated water to turn it into a saturated vapor. So a saturated liquid occurs right here. That's a knowledge requirement right there on the very first column on the left-hand side. Define a saturated liquid. Right? A saturated liquid is defined as one that the addition of any energy to it will result in vaporization. The pressure at which vaporization starts to occur for a given temperature is called the saturation pressure. And for water at 212 degrees, the saturation pressure is 14.7 psi. Another way of saying that, if I had atmospheric pressure, and I know that I put water in a pan at atmospheric pressure typically, I know the saturation temperature is 212 degrees.